So I wanted to do this video as an addendum to some of the other tutorials I've done. This is just the quickest, kind of easiest way to create a fly-through. So right now I've got a scene set up, I've got a light, I've got a sky, I've got a floor, and I've got several objects that I put in a null and protected so I don't accidentally move it. So the next thing I'm going to do, well, first of all, let's look at the timeline down here. So if you're not seeing the timeline, you need to make sure you go up to Window and make sure that you are on standard. All right. In the next project, I'll talk more about the animation mode, which is very helpful. But for this one, we're just going to keep it simple and keep it on standard. Now I've set my timeline to 260. The default is 90. But you can set this to however long you want your animation to be. So if I set this to 260, I can see now that this little bar is only showing me 90 of the frames, so I can pull that out. So I see all of them. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a camera. So I'm going to call this fly through. And I use the term fly through, but it could be a walk through, a wander through. It could be really anything as long as the camera is doing the animation for you. And then the next part is important. I need to remember to activate it. And to activate it, I want to make sure I'm all the way back on my frame 1, actually frame 0. And I'm going to click the little white target button here. And then the easiest way to animate this is, as long as this camera is active, it's going to record whatever I'm seeing in my viewport. So I'm going to move this. First thing I'm going to do, you could use auto keying here, and I think I show another video of how to do that. I don't like auto keying for the simple reason that I always screw it up. I always end up recording something that I didn't really want to happen. So I like to use the little key button here. In the next project, we're going to look into animating properties, which is slightly different, but I'm just going to use this guy here. And I'm going to say, let's record that first segment. And then I'm just going to move my timeline, and I'm going to move my camera. Or actually, don't even think about the camera. It's easier, I think. You just think about moving the viewport. And then I'm going to hit this guy. And as long as that camera is active, it's just going to follow what I did here. All right, so let me go maybe a little bit more up. Maybe pan down, maybe zoom in. There we go. So again, if I scrub this back. Now you'll see there's this little blue dotted line, and what that dotted line is, if I chose to do so, I could come in here and I could edit the trajectory. I'm pretty happy with what I've got here, but I could come back here and I could edit with this. I find the editing with that tool a little fussy. Like I said, in our next project, we'll deal with something called the dope sheet and the F-curves, and I find that a little more useful. But for now, we can just move our camera, and there is my fly-through.